you heard Dr. John talk about using Ingalls Usaba and virtues of Maya, absolutely. But racial socialization is so important as well, especially when we're talking about messaging and the impact of racism and discrimination. What we want to do is put emphasis on Black pride. If you make people feel proud to be Black, and this is what the literature tells us, it protects us from the negative societal messages that we often receive. So positive facilitation of our racial identity is what allows us to overcome and be able to heal from the atrocities that we see day in and day out that are racist. So positive and affirming imagery and messaging is one of the things that we really, really focus on. And this is what this looked like. So dominant gene carrier, you might have passed the table out front where we have gear that's called dominant gene carrier. Dominant gene carrier is actually a brand that was developed by Andre Smith. And what it talks about is, he has a whole thing about what it means, but I'm gonna tell you what it means for me and how I have assumed this under Kindred Spirit Behavioral Health. It is a form of racial socialization. It's affirming imagery. It counteracts the negative societal messaging. It debunks this notion of Black inferiority. It reminds us who we are, and it protects and inoculates against the impact of racial trauma and internalized racism. So when we think about, again, just think about how all the racism and tragedy has been televised and publicized all through social media. And we're like, okay, well, it's informative. This is how it keeps us knowing what's happening. But it also impacts us psychologically. There's a higher risk that we internalize that to feel inferior, like there's something wrong with us. Like, why does this keep happening to us? And the way to counteract some of those messages is to create visual, apparel. It's no different than you say, well, we buy our daughters Black dolls. When we go to our doctor's offices, we want to see Black providers, right? When we go to the grocery store, we want to see Black owned. That's racial socialization. Well, when we wear clothing or we're writing, notes and pencils and keychains and things like that, the more we can remind ourselves and stimulate our minds psychologically that we are the dominant gene carrier, meaning we can't be inferior because we are the dominant gene carrier. This actually protects us against the negative societal messages that we often hear about and receive. So I know we're out of time, but if you can play the last clip and just go to the last minute. It's a 6-minute clip, but I want you to see the last 60 seconds of it because you're gonna see how impactful this is with our Black men and our Black boys. Giving our Black people dominant gene carrier, just for some context.
That you are a dominant gene carrier no matter what nobody tells you, you are king. You're dominant. Got it? And wear it like that. All right?
You mean a what? Small?
Small?
I know what it means now.
Okay, what do it mean? You tell me.
A gene character. That
Okay.
means Black genes is stronger.
All right, and wear it with pride. Wear it like that. And when somebody asks you about it, I'm the dominant gene. It started with me. Tell them.
The dominant gene carrier is really changing lives.
So amazing.